Tesla's valuation is coming into question yet again, this time by well-known investor Michael Burry. Said Burry in a new Substack post, Tesla's market capitalization is ridiculously overvalued today and has been for a long time. Burry is arguing that stock-based compensation stands to further dilute Tesla shareholders. I had a little fun today because, again, I'm in a mood and asked ChatGPT if Tesla stock is ridiculously overvalued. It came back with this reply. The short answer is yes. The argument behind the output ranges from wild expectations around Tesla's AI ambitions to weak sales of EVs. So I want to put this question to the opening bid roundtable. How badly overvalued is Tesla, or is it undervalued at all? Kenny?
To be fair, I don't own it. I don't own a Tesla. I don't own a Tesla, and I don't own the stock, right? I never have. So what do I think it's overvalued? I don't know. I have to look at the chart to see because it's not a name that I'm in. So it'd be unfair for me to give you an opinion.
Allie, it is hard. You know, the case will be made. This wasn't mentioned up in the output on my ChatGPT search. It is hard to bet against an Elon Musk, especially when you have him being very motivated by a $1 trillion pay package.
Yeah, and that's why you saw the reaction in the stock after that pay package was approved, because if you have Elon Musk that's on board, that really is what investors want. You're not just buying this stock for Tesla, you're buying it for Elon Musk. And what's so interesting about this company is that the bears are super bearish and the bulls, man, are they super bullish. And, Dan Ives, who you've spoken with, Brian, I mean, he said it's offensive to call Tesla a car company at this point, that they really are an AI company. And you have to look into the future when it comes to robo-taxis, when it comes to autonomous driving. I think you're already seeing that across the board. I've been seeing a lot more Waymos on social media and a lot more articles about driverless tech. That's all going to come to a head at some point, and Tesla does have that first mover advantage to do that. Of course, you can always look at the valuation and whether or not to say it's a little too hot, but you can look at valuations across the entire stock market at this point and make that same argument for every single company, Nvidia included. So Tesla, of course, is just one that's going to get the bulls and the bears always going.
Right. James, Tesla, of course, is one of the first companies to put crypto on their balance sheet. Zoom out a bit. Given the volatility we have seen the past month or so in crypto, is that movement by companies to add crypto to their balance sheets to diversify their cash, is that on hold? I mean, or do you think it will pick back up again soon into year end?
Yeah, I think at this point, it doesn't add to the credibility for Tesla. I wouldn't call it a DAT. That's a digital asset treasury company. MSTR is a kind of a pure form DAT. Originally, companies were owning Bitcoin on balance sheet for treasury management, for FX management, fears over US dollar devaluation, for instance. And that's potentially quite a credible reason to do it. But it's now being tarred with the same brush as MSTR and maybe looks for Tesla a little bit irresponsible. I think ultimately what they've done is actually quite credible, but there's, I think, some quite sort of negative news flow at the moment around DATs generally. And so I don't think it's helping Tesla. And combined, Tesla has other challenges. It's no longer a pure sort of electric vehicle leader anymore. It's losing market share to European counterparts, and it's being undercut on price and range and tech, etc. So, and its compressions and margin its margins are compressing. So, it has many challenges ahead. So, I kind of agree with Michael Burry at this point that it is overvalued.
In his new Substack, Burry details his critique of the EV maker's valuation. Yahoo Finance's Pras Subramanian joins us now with the details. So Pras, Michael Burry saying Tesla is overvalued. He slammed Musk's pay package.
Yeah.
What is the overarching theme to this thesis here from Burry?
Well, I think it's just attacking another richly valued stock, like you said, right? He said that, in a post about the tragic algebra of stock compensation, guess who came up, right? Tesla, right? So he said, quote, Tesla's market cap is ridiculously overvalued today and has been for a long time. And he said that Musk's pay package will continue to further dilute the stock, right? And in addition, he said that, as an aside, the Elon cult was all in on electric cars until competition showed up, then all in on autonomous driving until competition showed up, and now is all in on robots until competition showed up. So he's also attacking just the bull case of Tesla. And we've seen the last 2 weeks, some prominent analysts have come out very bullish on the AI, the autonomous, and even the Optimus robot stuff. So Burry pouring cold water on that. He was also in the past been bearish on Tesla too. So this is nothing new. And we saw Jim Chanos too, also in the past, was bearish on Tesla. But they're also piling in on some big high-flying AI stocks too.
And to that point, Burry taking out short positions on both Nvidia, Palantir. So you think he could be speaking to kind of this idea that tech is overvalued more broadly across the space?
Yeah, and I think the names connected to the AI space in particular, talking about circular vendor funding, CapEx build out. He's all concerned about these things that we've heard a lot of people talk about. With regards to Tesla, it's a car company, right? So it has a money-making
Unless you
component.
ask Jan Ives, he says it's offensive to call it a car company.
Yeah, right. I mean, in that respect, yeah, when it comes to like sub 10 PE ratio, right? But I think it's more about, like you said, it's a tech skepticism, CapEx skepticism, that sort of thing. I can't say the word skepticism, by the way, but I'll try.
I know, say it 3 times fast. But when we're talking about Tesla, it's not just a valuation debate. And we got some new headlines that they're starting to lose share in several key European markets while competitors just continue to gain. And we know that's been the story in China. But do you think this is more of a demand problem, a competition problem? And where does Tesla really go from here?
I think it's a mix. I think it's equally a mix of competition, but also demand. We're talking about falling sales in November in France, Sweden, Denmark, and the Netherlands. This follows a massive tumble in October where the entire European region, with their report numbers about a month later, saw a 50% slide in sales, right? So it can't just be just competition alone or demand alone. The Musk factor, of course, his sort of dwindling reputation there, his perception of the brand is falling. So that's a big mix there. But like you said, if they can solve FSD and AI and autonomous and those technologies, that's a big boost for them, right? People might otherwise say, you know what, I'm going to give them a shot because of the fact I can drive to work, and I can sit here in the car driving to work, right? So that's the bet, and the bulls hope that compensates or overcompensates for competition, and also the Musk factor.
I feel like when it comes to Tesla, no one's in the middle. The bulls are passionate, the bears are passionate, and I'm
in the middle. I'm in the middle.
You're in the middle, yes. You're a reporter, you're a journalist. I'm taking a look at a year-to-date stock chart, though. It's a bumpy ride, man. I mean, you need to drive that Tesla on a roller coaster to kind of show you what the moves of this stock are.
This
Crazy.
is a tough ride to be on, right?
Yes.
I mean, when do you have conviction to say, I'm going to buy at that point in March, or I'm going to potentially sell, take some money at the top in November, right?
So
That's a tough call. Yeah.
We'll see who gets off of the ride at the end, the bulls or the bears. Pras, thank you so much, as always. Appreciate it.